I interviewed the most racist black people in America. Let's lock in.
God hates white people. He created them to be hated. Like white. God hates white people. He created them to be hated. He created them to be hated. Like white.
Starring off strong.
People are a virus. The only way to get rid of it is the medicine. Real niggas are the medicine.
You got a whip right here.
Nah, yeah, this for you.
When I see a white baby, I be like, he's gonna try to enslave my people when he gets older. The only thing that a white person could give me is their life.
The men and the women who profited off of our slavery,
Oh, these are different level type of niggas. This is extreme, like, this another level. This another level of Israelite.
want to bow at our feet.
You'll kiss this boot right here.
One at a time.
Keep on coming, Mr. White Man.
That's a freaky ass nigga. I could tell you right now, that's a freaky ass nigga. He does the cuck play. He does all that shit. He does all. He not even there for like to like really like pay his respect and like that. He's into this shit. This the shit that he into, bro. Kissing feet, bowing to all that. Bro was wearing you look at how everybody else is dressed around him. He's outside in shorts, a t-shirt in the middle of the winter, kissing toes, bro. This is extreme. Like, this another level. This another level of Israelite.
want to bow at our feet.
You'll kiss this boot right here.
To bow at our feet.
You'll kiss this boot right here.
One at a time.
Keep on coming, Mr. White Man.
That's a freaky ass nigga. I could tell you right now, that's a freaky ass nigga. He does the cuck play. He does all that shit. He does all. He not even there for like. That's a freaky ass nigga. I could tell you right now, that's a freaky ass nigga. He does the cuck play. He does all that shit. He does all. He not even there for like to like really like pay his respect and like that. He's into this shit. This the shit that he into, bro. Kissing feet, bowing to all that. Bro was wearing. You look at he not even there for like to like really like pay his respect and to like really like pay his respect and like that. He's into this shit. This the shit that he into, bro. Kissing feet, bowing to all that. This the shit that he into, bro. Kissing feet, bowing to all that. Kissing feet, bowing to all that. Bro was wearing you look at how everybody else is dressed around him. He's outside in shorts, a t-shirt in the middle of the winter, kissing toes, bro, on solid brick.
Everybody said that they love black people.
He's outside in shorts, a t-shirt in the middle of the winter, kissing toes, bro, on solid brick.
Everybody said that they love black people.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Sit.
These are the Black Hebrew Israelites.
Everybody said that they love black people.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Sit.
These are the Black Hebrew Israelites.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Sit.
These are the Black Hebrew Israelites.
Sit.
These are the Black Hebrew Israelites, a black supremacist group that hates white people and believes that they're the true Israelites.
No, I would tell you, I really hate
And
white people.
and the sad part is this looks like New York. But this is some New York shit. New York just kind of got everything going on.
I would tell you that.
But what other groups besides whites
What the
do they
fuck?
hate?
The dark race is the so-called African, who you would call the Nigerian, the Rwandan, the South African. They are not our people.
And do these beliefs actually come
And the sad part is this looks like New York. But this is some New York shit. New York just kind of got everything going
I
on.
would tell you that.
But what other groups besides whites
What the
do they
fuck?
hate?
The dark race is the so-called African, who you would call the Nigerian, the Rwandan, the South African.
Tell you that.
But what other groups besides whites
What the
do they
fuck?
hate?
The dark race is the so-called African, who you would call the Nigerian, the Rwandan, the South African. They are not our people.
And do these beliefs actually come from the Bible? I met up with Captain Tazariak and his brothers mid-training session in Harlem, New York to learn more.
Also, another thing I don't like is when people use the Bible to back up what they saying. Like, they'll say the most irrational, racist shit and then say, well, it says it in the Bible. Okay, that don't make it right.
What you see over there is you see what we call Hebrew Academy. So this is a physical training and
Hebrew
mental and spiritual
Academy.
training that we do every year where we take new members, we train them. So they're going to go through physical training, self-defense, spiritual training, learning scriptures.
Okay, real quick, you have any questions, Smith?
No, I'm just watching. I've seen them before. I just don't know what they do.
What we teach is that the true children of the Bible are blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
They'll say the most irrational, racist shit and then say, well, it says it in the Bible. Okay, that don't make it. And then say, well, it says it in the Bible. Okay, that don't make it right. Okay, that don't make it right.
What you see over there is you see what we call Hebrew Academy. What you see over there is you see what we call Hebrew Academy. So this is a physical training and
Hebrew
mental and
Academy.
spiritual training that we do every year where we take new members, we train them. So they're going to go through physical training, self-defense, spiritual training, learning scriptures.
Okay, real quick, you have any questions, Smith?
No, I'm just wondering. I've seen them before. I just don't know what they do.
What we teach is that the true children of the Bible are Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And so we come out here to train these new members in our school.
Sounds good to me. I'm out here doing kind of the same thing.
There's one catch.
We believe that white people are probably the worst thing to ever happen to black people.
You scaring off Samantha or something. I'm at work, get off to.
Well, I can understand.
What are your plans for her and her kind?
Samantha's just so down with everything. She's going for a walk. It's snowing outside. She not worried about none of this bullshit. And then here come this nigga talking about some, we feel like white people are the plague to the earth. I guess. I mean, you got a point.
It's not really our plans, it's God's plan. According to the
It ain't
Bible,
God's
God
plan.
is
Here we
going to
go again.
avenge black people for what white people did, so they go
Here we go
enslaved.
again.
They got to be in chains. They got to build our kingdom. They got to serve out the
Here we
judgment
go
for
again.
touching God's people.
How you doing? What are your thoughts on the Black Hebrew Israelites?
I would need to know more about
Can
it.
you give her a quick synopsis of what you believe in?
Of course, you know Jesus Christ is black, right?
I don't know much about, to tell you the truth, the Bible. I do know that people are being persecuted and have been for a long time. It's the patriarchy in this country and in many other Western countries that are discriminating, and I'm happy when people are standing up for educating other people and helping us understand.
This is me when somebody catch me in a question that I have no answer for. So I just kind of ramble. This is me when somebody catch me in a question that I have no answer for. So I just kind of ramble on. What the fuck is she talking about?
Stand.
This is a very compassionate answer.
If you lead the people into slavery and destroy their identity, shouldn't there be a punishment for those people who do it?
Yes.
Is he a brother? ¿Qué es tu país de origen? España. Spanish?
See, and the crazy part is, I know this is New York. This is somewhere. This looks like calculate the amount of white people mixed with black people, how nice the white people are. I'm gonna say somewhere in like Bed-Stuy, Brown, Bed-Stuyvesant or something like that, right? Feel me? Just a wild guess, because the combination of white and Spanish, everybody just living in harmony, and how yuppie are the people. To say that, slavery was wrong, everything they did was wrong, so in return, I'm going to do it back to you because the Bible said that, is insane. You're not going to sit there and try to make it seem like, oh, you did it to us, so we're going to do it to you as reparations. Call me crazy, but that's not how that go.
Counter no.
Conquistadors. We're indigenous. That's European, right?
Oh, man. Okay.
They're the ones who conquered the natives.
That's what I'm saying. They could kiss the
Yo,
boot.
yeah, hell yeah.
I'm not so sure that I myself should take responsibility other than helping the legacy of what white people did to dark
I feel like there's a
people.
level of like
Help the legacy
No.
of what white
autism.
people did. You know what that means? That's Trump.
No. Help erase.
All right, so yeah, this is definitely New York. She heard you standing with Trump. She's like, no, I'm not one of those people. You got to go up to Mill Basin for that. There's areas in New York where they real racist. They don't fuck with, you know what I mean? They don't come down from their beautiful apartments and homes and everything. But best believe if you in the middle of Bed-Stuy, they gonna let it set straight. We love blacks. We love you people. We love them.
Erase that legacy. Erase that legacy.
He's trying to set you up over here.
Don't give me a hard time here.
I know that we haven't done right by Native Americans, by people of color from many places. We call this
She's yapping.
We. What did you do?
we, the people who represent the dominant narrative in the
Man, she's yapping. I hate the idea. Slavery was about 1,000 years ago, right? Now, granted, she could be a descendant from a slave master, right? Cool, whatever. All I'm saying is that you cannot claim something you was not there for. Hot take. I'm sorry. You wasn't there. You know what I mean? Obviously, you have a different take on it because right now, you get impressed by Tyler. I feel like Tyler get too comfortable in all these places. Like, Son was in Memphis. He's here. He's there. He's dealing with all the Israelites that don't like white people, and he just comfortable. How does he get like approved for this? Like, who's jumping him in? He gotta be like Crip at this point.
This country.
But in the Bible, this will be reasonable to me. It says that the fathers and the women who had slaves, that they would bow to the slaves. In these last days, in these end times, when Christ comes back and rules this earth, a black man by the name of Jesus Christ, the men who led our people into captivity and the women who profited off of our slavery and our blood, they're going to bow at our feet. That would be reasonable to me.
You asking her to bow right?
I don't think Jesus went out there and said that. I'm gonna go on the ledge and say Jesus ain't never said that shit. You know what I mean? I already got a mixed relationship with religion and all that, but Jesus ain't go out there, he ain't hop out his side of his mouth and say, nah, the niggas who put you in slavery, their descendants, their children further down the line, when I return, they gotta kiss your feet. He would never say some shit like that. And I got a pretty solid basis of religion. Not the best. I got a solid basis of religion. He ain't come down and say some shit like that, bro. He ain't never write that shit. That's plagiarized. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Right now?
I mean,
these niggas is off the deep end. I ain't gonna lie to you.
People did.
If you feel truly bad for what your ancestors did, will you give them $20 right now?
I don't know if that would solve a problem, and my ancestors were dirt poor also.
I would say empty your bank account. When you think about it, we became the financial backing of building America. We became the labor. So when you say money doesn't change it, it does. That's why I said empty your bank account. You should too. Everybody, every white person should empty their bank account.
Would you be willing to maybe give a $100 donation to the cause?
Yeah, that.
Like right now on camera?
Well, I don't have anything.
Do you believe?
I don't even got nothing to say. My nigga. Like, you pressing the lady to give y'all bread, empty your bank account right now. That's robbery. I'm sorry. You robbing the bitch. You call her on her morning walk. You talking about, all right, empty your bank account right now. If you really stay with that shit. What? What if her family was Irish? They were also dirt poor. Irish people were dirt poor. They wasn't even involved in they had their own slavery. That's their slavery. What if she was Irish? Irish people went through their own shit. Not every white person not every white person is descendant of slaves. Well, slave masters. You feel me? Like I could honestly say with 100% certainty, I'm a descendant of a slave, right? I could 100% say I'm a descendant of a slave. Because my ancestry, they all from South Carolina. My dad and his mom, they were sharecroppers. So I could honestly say with like 90% certainty, at one point my family was slaves. You feel me? You can't say that for somebody who named Kilpatrick. Know what I mean? You can't say that for somebody who's like, know what I mean? Not everybody was descendants of slave masters. You feel me?
I do believe in justice.
Es una posibilidad que quizás la rápido de este hombre.
I'm in my 70s now.
Keep it a bean though. If somebody woke up to me and say, yo, you gotta kiss my boot, I'm snuffing that nigga. And that's really like on real right shit. Niggas say you gotta kiss my boot for some shit I ain't had nothing to do with. I'm snuffing you, bro. That's crazy.
When I die, that money's gonna be gone, and it's not gonna go to people who are just gonna go out and buy.
She's really not trying to give up her bread. She's not trying to get this nigga nothing.
It's gonna go to cancer causes and causes like yours.
Like black people?
Black people. Doctors Without Borders is a big thing I support.
The first thing that came to my mind was that when she dies, she's going to help black people, not when she's alive.
No, I'm doing it now. I'm giving a huge amount of what I've got every year.
Why should you feel obligated?
So what is like their real standpoint? They're saying like their real standpoint? They're saying like black people are the real like Israelites and that they're Jewish? I don't understand it. We're not even over there fighting for nothing.
To help black people. Did you enslave anyone?
No, absolutely not. But our society is continuing the discrimination that's based on what happened.
Justice should be done, in my mind, at the time that it happens. And if we don't have a legal system in this country or in all countries to take care of people who commit these kind of crimes when they happen, not the generations that follow, they bear some responsibility, but
she's yapping. She's yapping, bro. I know somebody who was called on a question that she had no background on, so she just say some shit. That be happening to me sometimes, because somebody will turn to me and start talking about how do you feel about the current political climate? I don't give a fuck.
If they didn't commit murder, then to me, they're not the ones that should be incarcerated.
I agree with her.
Let's just not ignore the elephant in the room. We bowed at your father's feet, fed your children while your father went off to go conquer America. While my mother was working, we had to tend to your children. Our mothers had to suckle your babies before they suckled our own babies. So it'll be reasonable for you to bow at the feet of the slave. That would be reasonable if you was really sorry. You seem like a compassionate person.
I'm a compassionate person, but my apology is, or my way of saying I do not believe what went on in history was fair or just, is my way of saying that I may be with you in some areas, I may not be with you in other areas, but I want to fight for everybody right now, and I do, and I stand for that.
Look
behind
you. That's who fights. We don't need you to fight.
Okay.
But check this out. You just embody, and this is why God is going to put you in slavery. Because your people always try to slither and find ways out of the harsh reality of what was done to us.
I don't understand this standpoint in this shit. This standpoint is that God is going to come back and in reparation of slavery, put another group. This standpoint is that God is going to come back and in reparation of slavery, put another group into slavery. So wouldn't that just like cycle over until everybody's like rotated as slaves? So what is that? What do you really gain from this? He better be with you. What do you really gain? Because in return, right? Let's say God come down and he puts this lady family in slavery in response for her ancestors, because we're assuming that her ancestors were slave masters. They put her in slavery and you become the slave masters. Wouldn't he come back down later on to say, hey, now that she was a slave, now you gotta be a slave in response to her being a slave, in response to you being a slave? It kind of just cycles itself. So really, at what point does the cycle end?
People hung my people from trees. This park right here in Harlem, you know, this is a black community. It's not. It was. It's not anymore. It's not anymore. You want to know why? Because of crack. Because of Ronald Reagan. You understand? So you can't sit here like a poor lily white lady, you know, with your dog and looking hopeless because of what you've done to my people.
That seems a little exaggerated, right? Do you think
she better than me? I would have walked away, bro. You niggas is not gonna sit here and belittle me. And I only came out here to walk my dog, G. I don't give a fuck about none of this shit, bro.
You think that's a little harsh, K2?
I can only tell you that I live my life trying to be good to everybody I'm around, and continue to do. I would.
He's saying you could be the change you want to see, and you could take a bow right now and just show a little gesture.
A bow is a gesture, and I've got a dog that I've got to keep going with. Her name is Curry.
Sit, Curry. Sit. So both of y'all, sit.
She wants to.
Curry is a sweet-looking dog. His people have gotten hung in trees, killed, molested, raped.
On my mother, bro, if a nigga walk up to me and say, bow, I'm snuffing that nigga. Who are you that I gotta bow to you, bro? Like, I get it. We all can admit, or, you know, majority of the people can admit, slavery was bad. They fucked up. Cool. This ain't the answer, G. I'm sorry.
Genocided, and you won't even take a bow is what he's saying.
That doesn't fix lynchings.
But he's saying to do a little bit to help him.
It doesn't bring back nobody. You know, it doesn't ease the pain. It doesn't change a damn thing to bow to this random nigga in the middle of whatever park this is, bro. It don't do shit for nobody. Just make you feel a little better. You got your niggas out here standing around like Kung Fu Kenny and shit, doing nothing but squats and shit like that, bro. Go out there and make some real change. Get the guns off the streets. And this is my problem with people who really talking about, oh, I want to change the black community. I want to make it better. Then tell these niggas to put the guns down, put all that shit down. Go get a job, bro. Go to school, get an education. Go do something with yourself. I spend too many times, and it's not only a white thing or a black thing, but I'm in the black community. I've been out there with them. It be the same niggas in front of the porch for 15 years, bro. I am 26. Every time I go back to my mother's house, it's the same niggas in front of the house, bro. It's the same niggas. Y'all don't got nothing to do with y'all day. Y'all spend the whole day trying to make it out and all this stuff. Y'all want to do the same shit, rap or whatever, and nothing gets done. We are all for the betterment of the black community until we got to actually make a step forward. What does this do? And I give him his props though. He is getting one of these YNs off the street. You feel me? In that little circle of niggas squatting and niggas doing stretches and whatever, they're doing something more productive than being in the street and just killing each other. So I'll give him that. I will give him that. But to sit here and make it seem like, hey, this random white woman in this random park walking her dog in the fucking snow, right? She gotta bow to me for the off chance that her ancestors, which may be not actual slave masters, her ancestors did all these messed up things to my ancestors. So now, as a response, you gotta bow to me and kiss my boot. And oh, on top of that, your dog got to too. You're not gonna convince me that makes sense.
But you're trying to position me.
You're not gonna convince me that makes
But
sense.
you're trying to position me to be oppositional, although I may not have the same history of beliefs as you do. I do agree with you that people have done incredible wrongs that land us where we are today. I hope you see that I don't represent some privileged white lady. I am just me.
Not even like a deferential bow before you leave?
Come on, that's a gratuitous, that doesn't mean anything.
But you have a good day.
All right, thank you.
What else would you have liked her to do?
She better than me. As I was walking off, I would have said, suck my dick. She better than me. As I was walking off, I would have said, suck my dick. You bugging, bro.
Oh, she was gonna kiss our boots.
Have you ever?
Nigga said, kiss my boots, bro. Like, we are losing the plot, bro. We are losing the plot. Imagine anybody else saying, yo, you gotta kiss my boot in response for something you did. The fuck?
Had anyone kiss your boot?
Absolutely, all the time. I didn't expect it about. It just really was a point to show you that even though white people seem like they care about you and seem like they care about the hardships that we went through, they really kind of negate it because it's really aimed at them. She knows without a shadow of a doubt of what other crimes some people did to us.
But she didn't do anything. That's the big disconnect. She didn't do anything. Just like you didn't go through slavery. Right. What are your thoughts?
That's what I'm saying, and that's the biggest. That's what I'm saying, and that's the biggest point right now. She did nothing. You didn't go through slavery, and she didn't put you through slavery. So what are we here for? What are we discussing?
Since you walk away.
I hope it helps.
Even if it means you are eventually enslaved.
I don't think it'll come to that, but
it will though, right?
Yeah.
This
God
nigga's
said,
chuckling.
he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
Is that a little harsh?
yeah, but I don't think we can actually argue it and say what's going to actually happen.
The Bibles are so like diluted now. The Bibles are so like diluted nowadays that you could literally say, I could make an excuse, right? I could sit there and say, hey, what's the most outrageous thing I could do, right? I stole from a Target, right? Let's say I stole from a Target. And to back up me stealing from a Target, I say, in the Bible it says, thou with nothing can take from others. That don't make it right though. At this point, like the Bible is like so diluted and people have their own versions, their own revisions, their own additions, subtractions, and all that stuff. They nitpick what they want to take out of it and they keep it pushing.
And it could be symbolic as well as literal, I think.
Okay. Well, this is literal.
I ain't gonna lie to you though. You got me. That's a fire jacket. Real nigga university. I'm up there. I'm first in class. Real nigga university. Come on, B. I'm not doing none of that. I'm not doing none of that. I'm not going around telling people, yo, lick my boot. But that's a tough shirt.
Your hand up. Get hit. Bang, boom, bang. This is what we call my department. I'm responsible for the Hebrew Academy. What these men are going through back here is something that all our men have gone through, all the brothers have gone through, including the head of our school, Commander Journey.
And I can tell you right now, these bunch of niggas who came out of prison and then say, you know what I'm gonna do to change my life? I'm gonna become an Israelite type shit.
Your Honor, you see these covers that we're wearing, this all represents the trial by fire that we go through out here to kind of bond us all together.
So these are all different training techniques. So now they're using mitts, like you would train a boxer. So they're using mitts to learn to punch and then slip. So this is, again, the hand-to-hand combat training that we train brothers in the school so that they could defend themselves.
See, now that's why I say this. See, now that's why I say this is a good, like, this is a good thing to me. This part right here is a good thing to me. Cause you're keeping a lot of these other niggas off the street, and now they're gonna do something purposeful with their life. They learn how to box. I'm assuming they're teaching them financing. I hope how to get their numbers right, how to get their books right, how to stay in school or whatever. You know, develop the black community, as I would say, I would hope.
Oh, right here. Go. But this is just a portion of the brothers that's in the academy. We have brothers in Texas, South Texas right now. We have brothers in Chicago, brothers in Florida, brothers in Atlanta, Georgia. We even have a brother out in the Bahamas. They're actually doing what we're doing right now all over the country. So this is what bonds us together. Their language, which is Hebrew, and we also teach them the biblical martial arts, which is called the Yad Karab. It's what King David used, it's what Samson used, and people don't know this. This is what Christ used as well. People think Christ was some old, just peaceful Gandhi type cat. Yeah. But Christ was a superior revolutionary. You understand? And the men around him were fighters.
I know that, yeah. What are the qualifications needed to become a black Hebrew?
Yeah, this is the only thing that I really like a respect out of it. You feel me? All the other nonsense. Yeah, this is the only thing that I really like a respect out of it. You feel me? All the other nonsense he was talking about, that's to each his own. But this is keeping a lot of younger people off the streets. You feel me? Like, you know how much I would kill for like people that I knew that had these options in life? Like, I went down the right road. My mother beat the shit out of me. But there's some people that I know that they could have did a lot better with shit like this. You feel me?
Hebrew Israelite.
When you say recruits, we don't have recruits. Christ said this, my sheep hear my voice. These men found us. I found Commander Junior Hanna.
How did you find him?
By hearing his voice. I seen the camp out on the street. Brothers come and hear what's being said, hearing that the true biblical Jews are black, hearing that Christ died for only blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians, that the 12 lost tribes of Israel are the people who are despaired and trodden on in this country that you call America.
Do you have to be a certain percentile of black or Hispanic or Native American to join the black Hebrew Israelites?
We go by who your father is, by blood. That percentile and all that, it comes from the so-called white man society. I mean, how do you know what percentile black I am?
I don't know.
Like, even just thinking about it doesn't make any sense. Let's say, for instance, like Bob Marley. He's a white man like you. Yeah, because his father is white. Your father is white, correct?
Yeah, he's...
I don't like this conversation. We always divulge into this conversation about who's black and who isn't. Because this conversation comes up like every week in the community. Because this conversation comes up like every week in the community. Who's black, who isn't? Are you black enough? Are you white enough? Bob Marley is a black man to me. Just because his father's white and his mother's was black doesn't make a difference to me. You feel me? That conversation is so dead in the water because you really don't prove nothing.
Portuguese.
He's white. Bob Marley is your brother, not mine. My father.
Bob Marley, my man.
No, I mean, you can have him. But when it comes to nationality, the Bible always traces the lineage of the man. So if your father is a black man, a Negro, you understand, you're from the tribe of Judah. If your father is a Mexican, he is an Israelite from the tribe of Issachar. They are brothers.
Who is the dog race?
The dog race is the so-called African, who you would call the Nigerian or the Rwandan or the South Africans. Those are considered Africans, but they are not our people.
A Nigerian couldn't come here and be a brother?
No.
Ethiopian?
No.
Kenyan?
Nope.
So now we're separating different type of black people. That don't make no goddamn sense, my boy. That don't make no sense. You realize, like, during slavery times, they took us from there, like from Africa, from these places, and like, you know, we didn't start off American. The Native Americans was here. So now we're picking and choosing who's black and who's not. Like,
none of them? Damn.
That doesn't make sense. See, if you look deep enough in these people's like words, it start not making sense, like, real quick.
Calls himself a Jew is a red man. His blood show forth through his skin. You could not hide among a dark race of people. You understand? It's just proving that The black man, because we're called African because we were found in the land of Africa, hiding among a dark race.
The seduction is to convince
How were you hiding among the dark race?
black people that America wants us to be a part of that. The difference between like the Democratic Party, Republican is gonna say everything to your face. They're gonna do it bluntly. The Democrats is gonna do it seductively. It's almost like if you take a can of beer, you don't want to drink the full beer, so you get light beer. But it's still the same racism.
Sure.
It's just covered up in a different bottle, but still gets you drunk.
What are your thoughts on the Civil Rights Act?
I would prefer segregation than the Civil Rights Act. The greatest time that black people had and the greatest threat that we ever were to America was segregated times. During Jim Crow, doing all the things when we was getting lynched and arrested. They incorporated the 13th Amendment so they could falsely lock us up. We still built hospitals, colleges, cities. We had a Negro League. We had all these things. We had education. Then you had the thought process of it's better if we integrate. And so when we decided to integrate, we lost education, we lost family structure, we lost businesses, we lost everything. Now they have this term called black businesses. Back during segregation, it wasn't about black business because we knew what businesses we were supporting. There was no mantra of separate from white people. We just was building our own. And that became the biggest threat because in less than 40 years removed from slavery, we showed America that we don't need you. And America can't have that because if we don't need them, then we would rise up over them.
Do you think?
All right, so he's spitting. He's winning me over with that one. That one he winning me over for that. He winning me over for that. All the other shit they were saying, but he spoke from a right. So he's spitting. He's winning me over with that one. That one he winning me over for that. He winning me over for that. All the other shit they were saying, but he spoke from a real like, all right, let me use actual like, you know what I mean, like data points, not just say something wild and then put it on the Bible.
White people naturally want segregation as well.
White people just want enslavement. White people want black people and Latinos to know your place. Trump being in office is the rallying cry for all of those MAGA people to say Trump is going to put black people in their place. White America is loving every single thing that Trump is doing because in their mind, he's saying, you niggas gotta act like what we say now.
It's cold, I can't feel my toes. Brothers are out here throwing hands. How long does the training last?
Probably about 6 hours.
6 hours? Damn. But the point
6 hours saying they're hitting the pads, bro. You got me for 2, maybe 3 hours, bro. I'm not training for 6 hours to fight for whenever slavery come back, bro.
The bond that they build today will keep them in the same shape of brotherhood.
I'm loving the Black Hebrew Israelites. I'm going to be honest. I wish I had a white version of this. I want a real cracker
What he say?
university that I could join.
Whoa, Tyler, let's pump the brakes with that one. He said a real white institution he want to join. We got those, bro. They with appointed hooders and shit. You walking.
Do you guys verify the paternal lineage?
We have a system to be able to tell. If anything's questionable, we'll do our due diligence to find out. It's hard for brothers who have white women to be in here.
They're allowed to date white women?
No, they're not allowed to date white women. But when brothers come into the school, they might have a white woman already. It's against the laws of God to put your woman away.
Put her away in what sense?
Or they might have a white mother. A brother might learn the truth and learn that he's an Israelite. Some people have a hard time with that because of how harshly we teach about white people, about the crimes that they've done. That is his mother, though. We would never tell him to kill his mother or anything like that, of course, because that'd be evil and wrong.
When you see like a white...
Oh, some level-headed thing that he's saying. He totally didn't just say the most wildest... Oh, some level-headed thing that he's saying. He totally didn't just say the most wildest shit and then said at the end, nah. But we ain't gonna violate his moms, though. We ain't gonna violate his shorty. That's who he picked, though.
Do you ever have just like a feeling of disgust? Like, these bastards.
Well, this is what you gotta understand.
Yeah.
We're professionals. Like, I can sit and have a conversation with you all day long.
When I leave, are you like, these damn white people?
Not to the extent that you think.
Not to a personalized extent, but just more of a zoomed out group perspective?
Right, because you're one white man. And you might be an all right white guy. We can talk about electrical work. We can talk about football, the game coming on and all of that. We'll never be brothers, you understand? We'll be professional. We'll be cordial. I ain't gonna slam the door in your face because you're walking behind me. I'm a professional.
Okay.
We ain't the Ku Klux Klan. We ain't going around like, you stupid cracker, I should hang you from a goddamn tree.
Yeah.
We ain't the Ku Klux Klan. Now, we professional priests. But you just
I
one
give
white
him
man.
that.
You don't
I
make
give him
no
that.
impact on my life personally. The system of white people is what you're gonna pay for. You might have not had slaves, but you are gonna pay for what your forefathers did, however.
I think the person who did
Why they love showing this boot kissing shit, bro? Who's agreeing to this boot kissing shit, man? Why they love showing this boot kissing shit, bro? Who's agreeing to this boot kissing shit, man? I feel like this started off as a joke and too many people was agreeing to do it.
should face the punishment, not the child or the child's child.
What if he's dead? What if the person who did it got away scot-free?
It is what it is.
It means his son gonna pay for it. Man, Harlem was one of the most blackest cities in New York City. I mean, ridiculous. It was a phenomenon. Now you look at it now. It's integrated. It's completely
gentrification or what?
There are no black-owned businesses in Harlem. We already had that. How did we lose it? Through the civil rights. The civil rights failed the black community because they wanted to join white society. We had the white man's water fountain and we had the black man's water fountain. Instead of saying that we're gonna make our black water fountain the best water fountain that's ever fountain, our leaders said that we want to drink from the white man's water fountain too. So what happened is he said, okay, you could drink from our water fountain, but you're gonna always get water from me. I'm the one that's gonna own the water fountain.
Suck the teat of the white man.
Exactly. Now the youth, the men who were children back then, now they coming up, we gotta push black businesses, man. We gotta push black businesses when the civil rights failed us and gave all of our black businesses to white people. You understand? You see that play?
He spitting with that one. He hitting with that line. I could see that. You feel me? He spitting with that one. He hitting with that line. I could see that.
Crashed over in Philadelphia.
Oh yeah.
It was glorious. I was mad as hell because I wanted to go get some chicken. I couldn't even get no chicken.
What do you mean that was glorious?
Lord took it down. It was glorious.
When you see those planes hitting walls, you're like, hell yeah.
When I see America start to fall, we have a drink.
What?
The brothers have a drink. These are the signs of our king's return.
Let's pump the brakes there, Johnny. If America falls, you going down. If America falls, you going down with it. You feel me, my brother?
This is a horrible time for your people, but this is a glorious time for us. This is what we've been prophesying about for years. Like, we were on different sides of the...
Yeah, he bordering on the line of insane now. He tweaking out.
You see like a school shooting and you hear about a bunch of people getting killed. Are you like, thank God?
Okay, don't think of it like that. Think of more. When America and the sins of America start to rise up, that's how we know we in these end times. The harshality of what happened is not what I'm focused on.
I see.
The impact of what happened to America is what we focus on. How it impact this society. You understand what I'm saying? The war with Russia, what's going on in Ukraine, how it impacts America. All of those things we are paying attention to. You see a school shooting, we always taught that the white man need to be racially profiled because they're the ones that do a lot of the school shooting, don't they?
Where is your land?
Nah, he ain't wrong with that one though. He ain't wrong with that. That one that's a good ball. You know what I mean? That's a good ball. I feel like when it comes to schools, you know what I mean? That's a good ball. I feel like when it comes to schools, that should be their, thing. Because every time they drop when the news drop photos and everything about a school shooter or whatever, or a school boomer, right? They put all the happiest photos or whatever right there, right? But then if somebody who's black or from my community goes out there, they get they screenshots always them in the mug shots of them throwing up gang signs or whatever. Now I ain't gonna lie, we shouldn't be doing that. But how come they get shown in a better light than us? You feel me? You feel me?
Like the Gaza Strip? Is that where you guys?
Israel, all in the nation of Israel.
He bullshitting them push-ups right there. I ain't gonna lie to you. I see you back there, my nigga. You bullshitting them push-ups.
Iraq, Iran.
This nigga fucking the shit out of the snow.
What Israel you see on the map, that is not
nigga doing a whole lot of nothing, just moving his head.
The whole Israel according to the Bible. That's just a small piece of what the white man stole and gave to the so-called Israelis that live over there now. You understand? Israel is that whole portion over there. Pieces of Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Iran, Israel is a very large large piece of land, and it's also called Eden. It's the Garden of Eden. To build a nation, you gotta build a nation with your sister. You can't build a nation and give your inheritance to another nation.
And so what we decide to do in ISUBK, what a real nigga university is actually teach people what a real nigga is.
What is a real bleeper?
Appreciate that. I thought I was gonna have to say MacGyver was.
Yeah, Tyler got a little close with that one. He said, "What's a real hold on, you feel me? Like, chill out." Yeah, Tyler got a little close with that one. He said, "What's a real hold on, you feel me? Like, chill out, Tyler. I know you getting real comfortable around these brothers, but like, chill out."
In the Real Nigga University, we show the righteousness that Acts 13:1 portrayed. Niggas are righteous, we honor, we worthy of the Lord, we raise up brothers, we build up family, we don't snitch. We would never sing a song for Donald Trump. We would never hate our Mexican brothers who are also real niggas, our Latin brothers, which are also real niggas, our Haitian brothers, which are also real niggas. So we are the epitome of what Acts 13:1 stood for. Christ being black is the realest nigga. White people are like the worst niggas.
I feel like I'm in the fucking Twilight Zone. He said Jesus is the realest nigga. That's crazy.
Come on.
He said white people is the worst
If you take
niggas.
any society of people and look at their land before white people interacted with them, and then look at the land after white people. Look at Libya. Look at the Middle East. Look at Africa.
He's definitely
Look
not
at
wrong,
North
though.
and Central and South America. Like, white people are a virus. When the virus gets in your body, the whole point of the virus is to destroy you. The only way to get rid of it is the medicine. Real niggas are the medicine. So ISUBK is the medicine because we deliver what the Lord says. So if you want to get cured, well, you can't get cured. I don't understand how black men and women can marry a white person knowing the crimes that they committed. And what that tells you is that from the time we are born, we have this thing of white is great and black is not, which is again why we enforce such a strong love for black people, enforce using the word nigga, making it righteous, enforce everything that they said was bad just to show how good it is. So that's why we created the Real Nigga University.
So after this, you might see a new school, RCU.
Real Caucasians?
Real Cracker University.
Yo, Tyler, you shooting from deep, my nigga. Like, you shooting from the parking lot. Yo, Tyler, you shooting from deep, my nigga. Like, you shooting from the parking lot. You better chill out.
I wouldn't be surprised. Y'all steal everything.
It's not a black and white thing.
He definitely invited to the cookout after this, though.
It's a Jacob and Esau thing.
The brothers.
Yes, exactly.
Wait a second. So our great grandparents are the same, right? Something like that. Jacob, Esau, and then the separation.
If you go even further back before that, because of Noah, you understand Shem, Ham, and Japheth were all related, but the Lord put the difference between them, just like He did between Jacob and Esau. So what matters is when the Lord decides to separate a people and create a nation.
As a non-Israelite, all I care about
This is Caesar Borgia. That's who they say Jesus Christ is. So when you come in, you actually step on the white man. They made him to replace the greatest man. So that image right there, that would be a biblical depiction of Christ when it says hair was white, and the texture was woolly, the skin is bronze, so even the garment being green. But this is not Jesus. This is the book I'm talking about. So this is called the Russian Icons. And when you open it, these are the original artwork and imagery of Christ and the disciples.
And how do we know this?
So this is artwork that they found in Europe and Russia in what they call the Dark Ages. The Dark Ages was a time when black people ruled Europe. And so as we rule Europe, we're giving out the truth. So when the white man come out them caves and they start coming in power, the Renaissance era was like a rebirth or a whitewashing. You can even find a black image of Mary in the Roman Catholic Church.
He talking about like Egyptian times and like, you know.
And so what's beautiful about this is this not written by us. See how this image is black? They redo the image and then make it white. So you'll notice you see the flags all throughout the school.
Yeah.
But then you kind of like any time in history, you could just make another painting. You feel me? You could depict it however you want to. But then you kind of like any time in history, you could just make another painting. You feel me? You could depict it however you want to depict it, you know? I could literally go up there right now and paint a picture of a black Jesus with a white Mary. And then, you know, I could have any person like believe that, you know what I mean?
So each flag represents each tribe and the symbol that's synonymous with that tribe. The swords We're very militant. You know, we're not Christians. We'll whoop your ass if necessary. So we fight.
Well, you guys were training earlier, right?
Yeah,
Hand-to-hand combat.
Christ said in the Bible to sell what you have and go purchase a sword. So Christ didn't.
Christ is a man of blood and steel.
Yeah, Christ whooped ass in the church. I say this all the time. Christ beat people in the temple. Christ wasn't somebody that was a soft and sissy guy. He just did the job that God said, where God said.
This is such a different, like, depiction of the Bible. This is such a different, like, depiction of the Bible or whatever the fuck he reading from. I wasn't one of them people who knew word for word what's going on in the Bible or whatever, but I don't know if anywhere in the Bible would say, whoop niggas' asses and nothing like that. You feel me? They kind of just reiterate the same thing. W video, I get his points, but he's wildin'. Real talk, you wildin'. You feel me? I get his points, but you wildin'. Aggressive Negroism is crazy. You feel me?
Yo, Al!
Hey, it's your big shot!
I'm about to suck your dick. This top Jesus good, my heart.